Hello, 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 and welcome to this edition of my Let's Play Ball blog podcast series. Today I'm going to discuss the topic of this year's free agent market in the Major League Baseball. As you all know, that the offseason started right after the World Series ended in the beginning of November, and this offseason began hot. Giancarlo Stanton talk was all the rage. He was still under contract with the Marlins, but they wanted to get rid of his contract because it was so exorbitant. So the talks regarding him ranged from going to the Cardinals, the San Francisco Giants, Boston Red Sox, and the New York Yankees. All four teams were hot in pursuit of him in the race to find their big next hitter on the team. So Stanton eventually declined trades that were agreed upon between the Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants, and eventually taking the deal to go to the New York Yankees, where he eventually landed. So that trade wound up taking place in mid-November, and since then we have found a stalemate in the market. So as of mid-November till mid-March, we've seen a handful of players sign their deals and make their way to new teams, but overall the market has been very stale, and not many players have gotten the prices that they've been looking for. Whether that's the agent's faults or the team's not wanting to pay it, I don't know. We'll talk about that. We have only recently seen free agents sign deals with clubs at the initial asking price they wanted. Those players are few and far between. We don't see many of those happen this offseason. But players that haven't received what they have asked for at the start of the offseason are what we have seen most of, especially Mike Moustakas and Lance Lynn as of recently. Mike Moustakas initially was asking for a 3-year, $45 million deal, which would equate to about $15 million a season. And at the beginning of the offseason, he declined his team option, which was offered by the Royals at 1 year, $17.4 million. Now, he declined that option to test the free agent market because he was looking for more of a 3-year, $15 million deal, like I said, but he wound up not finding any offers from teams. He had one offer, but declined it from the Angels. That deal was about 3 years, $12 million under the asking price he wanted. So he declined that and wound up not receiving any other offers. Now the Royals, as of last week, offered him a deal for 1 year, $5.5 million, which he accepted. So in essence, he lost out on $11.9 million if he would have accepted that qualifying offer of $17.4 million. Big loss on his part, but at the same time, he did test the market, and it proved to be futile. He did not receive what he wanted, and the market just spit him back out. And Lance Lynn also on the same page. Lance Lynn declined his qualifying offer of $17.4 million from the Cardinals at the beginning of the offseason and tested the market. And he thought, I'm a good pitcher, strong arm, I can make it as a starting pitcher, and the market treated him poorly as well, and he eventually wound up signing a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Twins, 1 year, $12 million, in essence losing $5.4 million on his contract if he would have accepted that $17.4 million offer back in November. So players are receiving less money, they're not receiving the deals that they want. Now, that goes without saying, there are still players that do receive what they want. And Eric Hosmer, he's one that did receive what he wanted with the San Diego Padres. Took him a while to get it, but he received a big deal with them, moving on from the Royals and everything. But he received the deal he did want. So this free agents market has treated many players poorly, as many have still gone unsigned. Some of which are big-name stars still with good years left in their careers. Names such as second baseman Neil Walker, shortstop J.J. Hardy, outfielder Jose Bautista, designated hitter Matt Holliday, and starting pitchers Jake Arrieta, Alex Cobb, John Lackey, and even closer Greg Holland are still unsigned. Huge names such as these haven't signed yet, and there still are no takers on them. It's pretty crazy to think, so what gives? I have two ideas on this. The first of which are that young prospects are becoming ready at the major league level faster than ever, and teams are trying to put their trust into them before going out and signing these big name players, these veterans that cost a lot more. These minor league players are under contract for 3, 4, 5 more years once they reach the major league level and are paid under $1 million a season. So going out and signing a guy for 1 year and $8 million a season doesn't make sense when you believe your farm system can provide that talent at a much lower price. So these pricey veterans aren't getting the chances that they need now, and they still have 2, 3, 4, 5 years left on their careers that they can still produce on these teams. So if no team wants to put their trust in a veteran, they can put it in their minor league prospects that are coming up faster than ever. So my second idea on this is that the market is really slowing down since in the past recent years it's been a big boom. In recent years, players have hit the mother lode in their new contracts. Players such as Giancarlo Stanton, Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, Albert Pujols, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, Zach Greinke, all have received massive contracts for their services to their teams. With the prices of talent skyrocketing, I believe that the players, once on their contracts, have finally surpassed the market value of their stars. Their contract expectations far exceed what teams are now willing to pay. It is a good day in all honesty, but keep in mind that's because these players really don't deserve $325 million deal for 13 years like Giancarlo Stanton. That's just absurd amount of money that the Marlins paid him, and now that the New York Yankees are going to have to finish off. So these players are deserving money, but the money that they're asking for is not what the teams are wanting to pay now. So what the deal really is in this year's slow free agent market, we might never know the real reason, though what is still true is that the MLB season kicks off on March 29th, coming up soon. So hopefully these players that are still without contracts find a home soon. So thank you for listening today, and let's play ball.